Hey, how you doing? I don't know what I'm saying here. Hey, it's your good friend, it's your pal, it's your compadre, it's TC. Everybody, how you doing? Welcome to the big show. It is Rock This Town Live. We are here every Monday through Friday, live streaming on YouTube. If you want to watch the live show, very cool. Starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. That is 5 Pacific, 7 Central. And if you want to take a look at rewinding it, if you missed the show, that's fine too. And then what else was I going to say? Oh, yeah, streaming, of course. You can check out the show via Apple Podcasts, via Spotify, and wherever high quality podcasts are found. Exactly. What's going on the show today? Well, I was just reading a story about Howard Stern. Apparently, is Sirius XM is going to make him an offer he can refuse this time around. Apparently, his 5-year contract is up in the fall here, though I think he is pretty much off all the time. I was looking it up. Howard takes 20 weeks of vacation a year, and he works 3 days a week now. So he doesn't have the most intense schedule. And what was it? $100 million a year Sirius XM is paying the guy. So I loved kind of Howard Stern back in the 90s. There was some good stuff. And to this day, he's a hell of an interviewer. He's great. But, like a lot of people, like David Letterman, he kind of lost his edge as he got older. Unfortunately, Dave was great in the 80s. He was pissed off in the 90s. And then he just was just a crotchety old man in the 2000s before he finally retired. So, but I guess it happens to all of us. I guess I'm in that. Hopefully, I'm not in that crotchety old man phase. But you never know. So, what's coming up on the show today? Well, we're talking Ozzy, cause of death revealed. Probably guess what it was. Ritchie Blackmore apparently is not in very good health, so that's concerning because I am a huge Deep Purple fan. I do love some Rainbow as well, but I'm more of a Deep Purple fan. And then the VMAs are out. Yes, remember MTV? What a concept. MTV, oh my God. They did videos for upwards of 8 to 14 years, and then put the kibosh on it, but they still do their VMAs. I'm not going to read you. I don't really care about the other nominees, but I'm going to read you the rock nominees, and you're going to see how sad the list is, at least when it comes to new rock music. So there you go. So that's all coming up. And then my vinyl of the day is, see if you can figure out what it is from the backside. I mean, it's the song title list. So if you can't really figure it out, then I blame you. I blame you for all of this, but I don't know what I'm saying. So anyways, there you go. That's the vinyl of the day. And then we'll have some vinyl announcements, some new vinyl releases coming out. Very nice, including that Trickster. Score, baby, score, baby, score. Trickster getting a reissue of their second record called Here. I'll talk about that in just 2 shakes of a monkey's bum. And then some concert announcements as well. So Tesla, I don't know if you know that, is doing a residency in Vegas at the end of the year. So we'll talk a little bit about that. I always like to start the show off by reliving the past. And I thought this was a great album and a very good tour. It actually started at Roy Wilkins Auditorium in St. Paul, Minnesota, my stomping grounds. I did not see this tour, but it was Dire Straits back on the Brothers in Arms tour, which I think is a great album and may end up on my top 5 albums of 1985. And I'll be talking about that coming up as well after we get through some news. So I don't know. Did you see Dire Straits on the tour? If you did, let me know. I've never seen Dire Straits live. Mark Knopfler, I really like as a guitarist. I think he's a great guitarist. He's got that clean sound, which is amazing. And then, he's just super talented. Everything from, Sultans of Swing to making movies with Skate Away. I love that record. And then so many good songs on Brothers in Arms, but that's just my humble opinion. I'm going to see who's hanging out with us tonight and say hello. Hey, Mark, good to see you. Buddy boy, very nice. You going on any cruises again soon? Beat After Beat, love Beat After Beat. Come on, baby, now. Chris, good to see you. I better say good things about Neil Young, right? Rockin' in the Free World, baby. I do love that song. I don't know much Neil Young, but I know Chris was a big fan of Neil Young back when we had the show. And Estes hanging out with us as well, among others. So there you go. All right, news first. Ozzy Osbourne. Unfortunately, his cause of death was revealed by the New York Times today from a death certificate. He died from a heart attack and Parkinson's complications. So kind of not a surprise. You probably figured for a guy Ozzy's age, or for anybody that goes suddenly, it's probably a stroke or a heart attack, unfortunately. And it turns out it was a heart attack. So rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne. And I mean, I've really enjoyed digging back into the Ozzy catalog. I heard somebody ranting the other day, like, how can I don't understand how when these musicians die, how their catalog stuff. I mean, their album starts selling, and I'm like, well, it's because that a lot of us don't have the entire discography. Especially like on vinyl, right? Exactly. Like if something, God forbid, happened to somebody in Metallica, like Lars or James specifically, Jen and I, we love Metallica, but I think we only have one Metallica record on vinyl. Now, granted, I've probably bought cassettes and vinyl and been paying for streaming for like the last 20 years, it seems, and then also CDs. So, I mean, I've gotten my money. Well, maybe not Metallica's gotten my money, but the record companies have gotten our money. So there you go. So I guess that's kind of how that happens. That's why we saw an increase in Black Sabbath catalog sales, an increase in Ozzy Osbourne sales. So there you go. But yeah, Ozzy, unfortunately, no longer with us. And I have been getting to that Osmosis record. And I stand by my prediction that I made, last week, that in the next month or so, we're going to get an announcement that Osmosis is being reissued for its, what would that be? Its 30th anniversary, I believe, of Osmosis. That's my prediction. So there you go. Also reading a story about Ritchie Blackmore. Apparently, Candace Knight, his wife, was doing a podcast recently, and she was talking about some of the struggles that Ritchie Blackmore has been having over the last couple of years, including heart issues from a past heart attack. Ooh, not good. Gout affecting his feet and his finger mobility. Well, that's not good either. And then chronic back pain. So she was also talking about how touring has just become unfortunately very hard. It's kind of the flying and stuff. When they're flying and they got to go through the airport, they're not flying private because he's Ritchie Blackmore, but he doesn't have, let's say, I don't know, Elton John money. I mean, who has Elton John money in the end? But yeah, Ritchie Blackmore's wife was saying that, it's hard for him to, get into the airport. And even if they're flying first class, the seat's fine, but there's still the back pain from sitting in a seat like that. So yeah, three main health issues for, unfortunately for, I didn't close my quote there, did I? Oh no, I did close my quote. Three main, there you go. So anyways, would it be nice to see some sort of Deep Purple thing like obviously Black Sabbath did before Ozzy's passing when it comes to Ritchie Blackmore? Yeah, but unfortunately, John Lord is gone. So that classic lineup of John Lord and Ian Pace and Ian Gillan, Ritchie Blackmore and Roger Glover. Of course, there was other people that have been in the band over the years, including famously David Coverdale, who is unfortunately no longer touring these days, but is spending a lot of time on X, formerly known as Twitter. So he's a fun follow, though sometimes, it gets a little, I don't know, monotonous a little bit. Like anything, anybody that posts a lot on social media can get a little, all right, give it a rest there, buddy boy. He did mention Terry Reid, though, passing away. I didn't put that in the news here, but Terry Reid, 75 years old, a great guitarist and a singer. Probably more popular in England than he was in the United States. Jimmy Page, when he was starting Led Zeppelin, tried to recruit, ironically, Terry Reid as the lead singer, but Terry Reid turned him down. And then Ritchie Blackmore tried to recruit Terry Reid as a lead singer as well, but Terry turned him down. So there you go. So Terry Reid, unfortunately, passed away at 75. I don't know much about Terry, but there you go. Music lost, at least he was probably a musician's musician in some ways, I suppose. All right. I don't know if you heard about, does anybody care about this anymore? Nah, I mean, we don't probably, but I thought this was interesting in terms of one aspect. So Best Rock VMA. So the MTV Music Awards are coming up Sunday, September 7th. They're going to air on CBS for the first time. They're also going to be on MTV, ironically. And Lady Gaga leads with 12 nominations, followed by Bruno Mars and Kendrick Lamar. Okay, whatever. The top 40 stuff, whatever. It's passe. It's boring at this point, unfortunately. However, they do have a best rock category. No hard rock or no metal or nothing like that. But they do have a best rock category. And you notice something about all of these nominees? All of these nominees have been around for like 20 years at least. That's got to kind of tell you something, that rock indeed is it's not dead by any means, because it's more popular than ever. But as far as new music goes, it's just not a lot of good stuff out there. And like Sleep Token, great song in Emergence, but they really didn't do a video for that, so they're not going to be nominated for a VMA next year. But yeah, Coldplay been around a long time. Evanescence been around 20 years at least, maybe 25, close to. Green Day's been around since the 90s. Lenny Kravitz, same thing. Linkin Park, late 90s, early 2000s, and 21 Pilots, the same thing. So what's also funny about this is that it doesn't denote this, but all 6 of those artists, none of them are on Universal Music, which tells you something. They're either on Warner Brothers, or Warner Music, technically it's called now, or BMG and Sony. So BMG and Sony are still doing their thing when it comes to rock, but Universal Music, which is the biggest conglomerate by far, basically controls the music industry. They probably control radio. In some ways, they probably control Spotify and TikTok for music, Apple Music as well. So, like I've said before, I'll say it again, 9 times out of 10, if you're a customer and you're getting screwed over, if you're a YouTuber and you're getting screwed over, if you're a record, if you're a band or an artist and you're getting screwed over, or if you're a record store and you're getting screwed over, it's Universal Music screwing you over. Trust me, it is. So anyway, so it's good. At least the rock artists none of them are on the Universal label. So I guess we got that going for us. So there you go. All right, let me do a quick check of the chat here. And why didn't that come up? I don't know why that didn't come up. Let me see. Where is the chat? Oh, there it is. Show on the stream. All right, cool. Beat After Beat mentions rest in peace, Ozzy. Indeed, rest in peace. Mark says no cruise, but jury duty. You're the next Pauly Shore. I didn't mean that in any kind of derogatory way, but wasn't Pauly Shore that did the movie Jury Duty? I forget. Anyways, but Mark, you'll do fine. Hopefully it's not a homicide case with Rex Rexroth or anything like that. And if you know that reference, then you're really super cool. Oh yeah, Glenn Hughes. I forget about Glenn Hughes. Was he in he was in Deep Purple with David Coverdale on the Burn record. So very nice. I love Rainbow as well, Beat After Beat. It is a tremendous band. Is it better than Deep Purple? No, but it's still pretty damn good. All right, a reminder, if you want to show off your grails, you can certainly do that. TC at Hey TC. I'm setting up time with Estes for next week, hopefully, as Estes is off to see some cool shows here. And then Terry also setting up time with Terry. So there you go. Best rock albums of 1985. So I came up with a list of 25 records. The record that made the number 6 on my list was Spreading the Disease by Anthrax. That's the one that got left off. So as a point of reference, number 6 would have been Spreading the Disease by Anthrax, just because I love Madhouse so much. It's so good. So these are my best, my top 5 records from 1985. See if you agree with any of them. See if you think I'm crazy. I know, like, I left off the Iron Maiden, Live After Death, some other records. I got Night Ranger 7 Wishes here. A lot of people probably would not have Night Ranger, but I did love this record. I thought it was cool. Plus, I have a connection where my first concert was that year to see Night Ranger on the 7 Wishes tour. So holds a soft spot in my heart, man. Dokken, come on. George Lynch. He was one of my, when I was learning how to play guitar when I was 15, 16, George Lynch was one of those guys. Same as Brad Gillis and Night Ranger, by the way, there. But Brad Gillis was probably more of the Midnight Madness and the Dawn Patrol stuff than 7 Wishes. But Dokken and George Lynch, baby, under lock and key. Come on now. That was some sweet stuff. It's Not Love. The Hunter. Lightning Strikes Again is so good. I just heard In My Dreams. Really good record from Dokken. Is it their best record? That is a 20. Back for the Attack was really good too, just because George Lynch's guitar playing just became incendiary on that record. Tooth and Nail, that's a good record as well, but it might be their best record. Speaking of incendiary, Warren DeMartini, Invasion of Your Privacy. I love that record. It is fantastic. Some of the songs start to sound a little alike, but come on, You're in Love. That is the definition of dance metal. If Van Halen invented dance metal, baby, Incendiary, and Eddie's obviously was incendiary as well, but Warren DeMartini and Rat basically said, come on, baby, let's dance a little more, especially since Dave had departed Van Halen by this time. So Rat kind of picked up that dance metal thingamabob. I can't think of what it's called. He picked up the I don't know, whatever. The torch. Oh my God. Wow. Picked up the torch and lit it up, baby. Number 2 I had as Worldwide Live. I love that live record. The Scorpions sound amazing on that record. That is the classic lineup with Klaus, Matthias, Rudolph, Francis, and of course, Herman Z. German, one of my favorite live albums of the 80s by far. And then they're number 1, not just because, I do think this is probably the best record to come out in 1985. It's Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms. I mean, Money for Nothing is great, but Why Worry is tremendous. Let me find the track list on this bad boy, actually. I think it's only like 8 songs. Brothers in Arms. Brothers in Arms. Brothers in Arms, of course, was one of the songs on there. Walk of Life is good too. Your Latest Trick is amazing. And then So Far Away. So, yeah. Great record. It doesn't fit with kind of a lot of the motif there of my love for Anthrax and Dokken and Rat and the Scorpions, but still, I know a good record when I see a good record, and that's a good record. So there you go. All right, cool. Let's see, where am I? Oh, there I am. All right, before we get to some new vinyl announcements, I just want to mention that, Estes had mentioned that he's going to see Shinedown in Bush. Very nice. Very, very nice. And Estes has the top 3 on the list for best rock albums. Very nice. Beat after beat. Little Rat and Roll, baby. I do love myself some Rat and Roll. The Asia poster. I framed an Asia poster. I still haven't gotten the office set up. We were going to do it this weekend and something came up. So I need to kind of switch everything around here. We're going to get rid of that damn door. Oh, there's the door over there. And so there you go. And Herver's hanging out with us and mentions Rat. Yeah, I love Rat. Cool. All right. New vinyl out. Trickster. This is out now. I mean, Jennifer ordered a copy on Saturday. It's on the way. So Trickster is self-publishing this on the what do they call it? Polymere label, which is the same label, the fictitious label that Spinal Tap was on in the original Spinal Tap movie, Polymere. It's a play on kind of Polygram records from back in the day, Mercury Polygram. You probably remember those from all your Def Leppard and Scorpions and Bon Jovi records back then. So, but yeah, Trickster here is the 35th anniversary, red and blue. It's $50. Okay, it's a little pricey. If you want a signed copy by Steve Brown and PJ, it is $60. I know Jen ordered the signed copy, so we have the signed copy. That is one of her grails. She is so excited that this bad boy is going to be back in print right now. I kind of love it the way they did it. They kind of teased it a little bit for a couple of weeks before they released it, and then boom, if you order it today, it's going to ship tomorrow probably. So that is fantastic. So very cool. Trickster run you about $50 or $60, depending on if you want the signed or the unsigned version. So, hey, why not go for the signed version, I suppose, though there's some appeal in having the unsigned version, in my humble opinion. But yeah, the packaging looks amazing on this. So Good stuff from the boys in Trickster. Three Doors Down is doing a reissue on color vinyl of The Better Life. Same with Away from the Sun. Now, when it comes to Three Doors Down, because they are just so workmanlike, I love Three Doors Down, loved them back in the day, still love them. Hopefully, Brad Arnold, I know he's dealing with some health issues, the lead singer. And, buddy, if you're watching the show, hope all is well. But I don't know if I need a color version of this record, in my humble opinion. Just give me the black vinyl, because, like I said, these guys are so workmanlike. Boom, 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 boom. I love it. Obviously, Kryptonite on this record, Loser, which is a fantastic song. So there you go. That is out on October 24th for about $38. So it's a little pricey, if you ask me. But I think that might be a Universal Music release, ironically. I think it's on the Republic label. So pretty much everything that Universal does is they put like an extra 30% premium on it because people will pay it, I suppose. But yeah, there you go. The Civil Wars. Actually, this got reissued today. It's already sold out, unfortunately. Only $25 as well. This is a record that Jen really loves. We have a copy of this record in our collection from, I think, maybe 10 years ago or something. Apparently, the young man and the young lady who were in the Civil War are basically in a civil war now. They don't really get along. That's what I understand. So, boom. That's being reissued, though it's already sold out. Perhaps they'll do another run of it. So if you dig the Civil Wars, then maybe check that out in the future, or I'll keep you updated if I see any more copies. And then Craft Recordings announced today that they're doing a multitude version of a whole bunch of records by this is the 60th anniversary of a Charlie Brown Christmas. So I'm like, holy moly, 60 years? Is that right? That's crazy, man. But then again, I'm glad that Charlie Brown is older than I am. So, but yeah, there's going to be a bunch of different versions. There's going to be ultra clear version that you see up there in the middle. There's going to be a neon version, which is exclusively at Best Buy. Okay, a Christmas tree version down there in the lower left-hand corner from Target, an Urban Outfitters Blizzard version, and then Walmart is going to have a red and gold tinsel version, and then Barnes & Noble is going to get a picture edition, plus the picture edition. The picture disc edition is actually pretty cool. Plus, there's going to be a Zoetrope version as well, too. I think you can get through your local record store, so not too shabby. And then, of course, the standard black vinyl. So there you go. Probably run you about $28. Usually the prices on those are really good. And Craft Recordings is a great label. I would put them up there with music on vinyl and a lot of the Rhino stuff. The Rhino does the back catalog for Warner Brothers. I always call them Warner Brothers, but Warner Music. So that's super cool. All right, let me check the chat again, see what's going on there. Of course, it's not showing, but there it goes. So cool. Beat After Beat says, looking to interview people on YouTube who are in the music world. Very nice. Well, come on the show. How about that? I guess I'm sort of in the music world a little bit, especially having the record store the last 3 or 4 years. Estes got his Back to the Beginning concert tee. Very nice. That's super cool. Yeah, definitely Beat After Beat. Except also mentioned, Estes also mentioned Except Balls to the Walls. Did that come out in 85? For some reason, I'm thinking that was 83. Except Balls to the Wall. I remember that video. I only remember the video because, it came out in 83, December of 83. But yeah, that cheesy video, man, it definitely looked like a 1983 video. So there you go. A reminder that we are live on YouTube, starting exclusively whoops, I went too far. Live on YouTube. There is Jerry the Parakeet. No, not Parakeet. I would say Parakeet. Parrot. September 23rd. So if you haven't, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to the show for free on the mighty YouTube of love. So there you go. Very nice. All right. Tours to talk about. Tesla is out on the road right now. They just played Sturgis last night. Tonight, they are in Sioux Falls as well. Well, or near Sturgis. They're in Sioux Falls playing a show. And then what do they got? Illinois coming up later in the month. Then they've got Fort Yates. Oh, North Dakota. That would be, I was thinking Notre Dame. what the hell? No, obviously in Notre Dame, not Notre Dame, North Dakota. Oh my God! And then a couple shows in Mystic Lake Casino, my old stomping grounds, up in Minnesota, just a kind of a suburb or a little bit of a kind of a three wood from the Twin Cities of Minneapolis, St. Paul. Then they have the House of Blues residency coming up in October. I've seen Tesla a number of times. They are always great. I've never seen Tesla play a headline show, which is the way to see them, in my humble opinion. Actually, they were just, a month ago? They were in Tucson. Damn it. Well, a month ago. Wait. A month and a half ago, they were in Scottsdale. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Amy, one of our favorites from one of our local favorites, mentioned that. That she was going to that show. So there you go. Very nice. So Tesla, I guess we're not down to, I guess we're down to the final 11 shows. So if you're in South Dakota, you got that going for you tonight, which is probably 2 hours different. So they're probably going to hit the stage here any minute. So I better hop on my G7 and get up there. Steel Panther. I get a kick out of this band. The Burden of Being Wonderful is one of their best songs. The Burden of Being Wonderful, a song by Steel Panther. The lyrics are tremendous. 1 year at Thanksgiving, to mortify my niece Madison, I read the lyrics to The Burden of Being Wonderful. It is so let me give you the first chorus, not first chorus, the first verse. Why in a world of ugly faces should I be allowed to be so hot? So many people without talent, yet I was born with all the magical gifts I got. If you know anything about Steel Panther, they got a big sense of humor. A lot of people that might hear that might have sticks up their keisters and be like, "What? How dare you say that? I can't believe you say that." And come on, take the broom handle out the keister, because it's really funny. And then it goes into the perfect body, the perfect face. It's like God's best work all in one place. But the haters hate perfection, can't you see? It's a burden being wonderful like me. So there you go. And then there's a little line, and there's kind of a bridge section after a solo. He's like, I'm just a Maserati in a world of Kias. Genius wouldn't describe any of my ideas. If I was born in 1453, Leonardo da Vinci would be jealous of me. But in a world of Stevie Wonders, would never see. It's a burden being wonderful like me. I know you can probably appreciate that. So, yes. Anyways, it is the 15th anniversary of Feel the Steel coming out, and they got some. I guess they're kicking off here in a couple weeks. So Steel Panther, I've never seen them live, but I think they're a super fun group. Of course, the lead singer of Steel Panther was in that Van Halen. Was it the Atomic Punks? He was in the Atomic Punks before starting Steel Panther. So very nice. Slaughter is out on the road. They're doing a show. Is that this weekend? Yeah. No. Well, actually, in 2 days. They're where are they going to be? In let's see, the Motor City Casino Hotel in Detroit. So very nice. So if you're up in the Midwest, up in the Detroit area, boom, you're going to get Slaughter and you're going to get Great White. So I figured I'd throw that in there because there wasn't a lot of tour announcements today. But there was one, Michael Schenker, My Years with UFO. He's doing an American tour now with who is that? Jared James Nachos? I don't know what that says. And then Armored Saint. Really? Armored Saint out with Michael Schenker? That's kind of cool. Anyways, a bunch of tour dates. Some of them have already sold out. I really love that My Years with UFO. That would be homework if you're into really good songs. So all these years, I've heard a lot of people talk about how good UFO is. They're basically, a lot of people would equate UFO in kind of Europe to Cheap Trick in America, an underrated band. Cheap Trick, very underrated, but musicians and a lot of people love Cheap Trick. I've come to love Cheap Trick too. Same with UFO. Well, Michael Schenker re-recorded some of his classic tracks, and Axl Rose actually sings on the song Love to Love. So search for Axl Rose doing Love to Love with Michael Schenker. That's a damn good song. One of my favorite songs to come out last year. So There you go. A little Michael Schenker action if you are interested. There you go. Beat After Beat is in Detroit, so you could go see, what is it? Was it Slaughter? Yeah, Slaughter and Great White if you're into the band. So Slaughter, still with the original lead singer, Mark Slaughter. And of course, you've got Dana Strum, who started the band with Mark Slaughter. And then Great White still has Mark Kendall, the guitarist in the band, and maybe Michael Lardy. I'm not sure if Michael Lardy, the keyboardist, he was kind of the guy that helped them really kind of mainstream their sound. I was thinking about my favorite Great White song the other day, and it's got to be Rock Me, man. That song, just the drum sound, whoever engineered those records for Great White, Pistol Resistance is a wonderful, one might say. So there you go. All right, cool. If you dig in the show, I'd ask one favor. Smash the like button, especially if you're on YouTube or Facebook. And then if you want to tell somebody about the show, whether you're listening to the podcast or whether you're watching on YouTube live or whether you're watching, a week from today or something, dig in the show, you want to tell a friend, I would appreciate it. It would mean a lot to me. And that's it. Let's get to our vinyl of the day. And it is my good friends in Blondie. I do love me some Blondie. This is a great live record. It is not from 1985. But it is a great live record. Boom. That's what that bad boy looks like. And this was a limited edition. It's a 2 LP. Is it a gatefold? It is a gatefold, but we've still got it in the shrink. So we've listened to the record. We opened the shrink over here on the left side. Or I guess it would be technically the right side, I suppose. But we didn't open up the gatefold. It is what is it? Can you see the number there? It's number 3. It's number 22. Well, it's going to be hard to see. Glare. Oh, there it goes, right there. Is that right? Number 2,222. That's a good number. I like even numbers. I don't know if any of you guys have phobias. One of my phobias is I hate odd numbers. I just cannot deal with odd numbers. I'm moving the TV dial. I'll stop at an odd number channel, though. Really, do we really have channels anymore? Especially if you have like YouTube, there's no channel numbers. But anyways, or YouTube TV specifically, as opposed to YouTube. However, the volume, man, it's always got to be like on 24 or 6 or 8. It's got to be an even number. Same with the radio in the car. Same thing there, man. But if I'm, if you're like on an iPhone or something, you're doing the volume, you don't see the volume there, which is good, for us people that have that phobia. I think Audrey had that phobia as well. But anyways, 2,222 out of 3,000. The track list from this live Blondie record is, so when did this come out? 1999, isn't that? I think it originally came out in 99. Anyways, Dreaming, Hanging on a Telephone, nice. Screaming Skin, Atomic, Forgive and Forget, The Tide is High, nice. Shayla, Sunday Girl, Maria, Call Me, Under the Gun, Rapture, Rip Her to Shreds, Ex-Offender, No Exit, Heart of Glass, and One Way or Another. This is, what is this? Numbered vinyl, 100% virgin vinyl as well. So that's maybe why it sounds so kind of amazing. So that is my vinyl of the day. A little Blondie working on some kind of different stuff. So there you go. All right, cool. Beat After Beat, he hates odd numbers as well. So there you go. I think that's the big show. I'm going to wrap it up, baby. I appreciate you hanging out with me. If you want to leave a comment in the chat, that's cool. If you want to leave a comment post live show, that's cool as well. And if you need to shoot me an email about anything, you can email me at tc@rockthistownrecords or tc@heytc. Made it kind of obviously Rock This Town Records. It's not a lot to type in, but it's quite a bit, as opposed to Hey TC, HEYTC. So there you go. Much love indeed. Have yourself a wonderful night, and I appreciate you hanging out with me. And see you back here hump day tomorrow.